Here's what they don't tell you about making six figures in roofing sales. Most reps who hit it don't actually have more talent than you. They just stopped guessing and started forecasting. What's up, Roof Money Pros? Mike here with Roof Money Pro, and my mission is to help roofing professionals like you maximize your careers and build wealth. And if you're serious about that, hit that subscribe button right now because what you're about to learn changes everything in your career. Today, we're talking about sales forecasting for roofing sales reps, and this isn't some boring spreadsheet nonsense. This is the difference between planning your life and reacting to whatever income shows up in your bank account. Most roofing sales reps don't have an income problem. They have a system problem. Big commission months followed by dry spells, stress at home, reactive decisions. Not because they're not working hard, but because you're guessing instead of forecasting. By the end of this video, you'll know the three numbers that control your entire income, how to turn those numbers into predictable revenue, and how forecasting becomes the foundation for planning your actual life, not just your sales week. Now let's get crystal clear on what we're talking about here. Sales forecasting for roofing reps is not traditional budgeting. Budgeting assumes you know what's coming in. But when you're commission-based, that paycheck swings all over the place. One month you're crushing it with $15,000 in commissions, next month $3 grand. And suddenly you're wondering if you can afford that vacation you promised your family. Forecasting is different. It's reverse engineering your income goals into the daily activities that create revenue. It's knowing exactly how many leads you need, what your deals are worth on average, and how often you close. When you know those three things, income stops being a mystery. It becomes predictable. Not exact, but predictable enough to make real decisions. And here's why this matters more for roofing sales reps than almost any other profession. Your income is variable. You don't get a steady paycheck. That means you can't just set a budget and follow it. You need to know what's coming so you can plan around it. When you forecast, you're creating predictability in an unpredictable industry. And here's the hard truth. When you don't forecast, you end up guessing. Guessing leads to lifestyle creep. You have a big month, so you upgrade your truck payment. Then you hit a slow month and panic sets in. You're stressed, your family feels it, and you start making reactive decisions instead of strategic ones. Forecasting kills that cycle. It becomes the foundation of long-term wealth building because you're not just chasing commissions anymore. You're building a system that supports the life you actually want. Now let me tell you a story. A few years back, my roofing company switched compensation structures. We went from a straight 10% commission on everything we sold to a 5% commission plus a base salary. The trade-off was we no longer had a door knock, and we'd have an inside sales rep handling all the follow-up. When that change happened, half the sales team panicked and quit. They looked at that 5% and freaked out. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't on edge too. It was only 6 months into my sales career. But here's what they didn't see. I had my numbers dialed in. I knew my leads, my average contract value, and my close rate, so I ran the forecast. I mapped out exactly what I needed to hit to match my lofty income goals. And you know what? As long as the company provided the leads they were shooting for, it was totally doable. Actually, it was better because I wasn't burning myself out and knocking doors anymore. The reps who left didn't have that clarity. They were flying blind, reacting to emotions instead of looking at the math. I stayed, hit my numbers, and ended up in a way better position. That's the power of forecasting. When everyone else is panicking, you're calm because you know your numbers. And here's why this skill is even more critical heading into 2026. Competition in roofing sales is getting tighter. Margins are shrinking. Homeowners are more educated than ever. The days of just working harder and hoping for the best are over. Future-focused reps who understand their numbers will outperform reactive reps every single time. Forecasting also helps you survive slow seasons without losing your mind. Winter months, economic downturns, whatever comes your way. When you know your baseline numbers, you can plan for those dips instead of being blindsided by them. You make better financial decisions because you're not operating from a place of fear or scarcity. You're operating from clarity. And clarity is the ultimate competitive advantage. Be sure to download my 6-figure forecasting roadmap. I'll link it in the description. All right, now let's get into the actual numbers. You don't need 20 metrics to forecast your income accurately. You need 3. These are your inputs. Master these and income becomes an output you can predict. Lead volume is the #1 predictor of your revenue. Simple truth. More leads equals more opportunities, which equals more income. But not all leads are created equal, and that's where reps get tripped up. You need to track inbound and outbound leads separately. Inbound leads are the ones coming to you through referrals, online, or company marketing. Outbound leads are the ones you're generating yourself through door knocking, cold calls, or networking. Each type converts differently, so you need to know your close rate for each. Don't get too wrapped up on that in the beginning. Focus on overall lead volume, but just keep in mind that's what you want to do eventually. Lead consistency is where the magic happens. If you're getting 10 qualified leads one week and 2 the next, your income is going to swing wildly. But when you create systems to generate consistent lead flow, your income smooths out. That's when forecasting becomes insanely accurate. Average contract value is the number most roofing reps ignore, and if that's you, it's costing you thousands every month. Your average contract value is exactly what it sounds like, the average dollar amount of the contracts you close. If you close 10 deals this month and they total $100,000, your ACV is $10,000. Here's why this matters. Small improvements in ACV compound fast. If you can increase your average deal size by just 10%, you don't need more leads or a better close rate to make more money. You just made 10% more on the same effort. And you can do this ethically. Offer premium materials such as architectural shingles, standing seam, or stone-coated steel. Educate homeowners on long-term value. Bundle services like gutters, ventilations, or other accessories. You're not pressuring anyone. You're guiding them to make better decisions. And by helping them understand what's available to them, that also happens to increase your contract value. Win-win. The old saying that you can have everything you want in life if you just help enough people get what they want rings true here. No margin manipulation or coming up with numbers out of thin air. Your close rate is the efficiency lever. It's the percentage of leads that turn into signed contracts. If you talk to 20 homeowners and close 4 deals, you're at a 20% close rate. This number removes all the emotional guesswork from your sales process. You're not wondering if you're good at your job. You know. And when you track it over time, you can see exactly where you're improving and where you're slipping. And here's the thing. Improving your close rate beats working more hours every single time. If you're at a 20% close rate and you bump it up to 25%, you just made 25% more money without generating a single extra lead. That's skill, not hustle. And skill scales better than hours ever will. Now let's put this into action. There's a simple formula roofing sales reps can use to project income. And once you see it, everything clicks. Here it is. Number of leads times close rate times average contract value times your commission rate equals your income. Now let's run an example. Say you get 20 leads in a month. Your close rate is 25%. Your average contract value is $12,000. Your commission rate is 8%. 20 leads times 0.25 is 5 closed deals. 5 deals times 12,000 is $60,000 in sales. 60,000 times 0.08 is $4,800 in commission income for that month. That's it. That's the formula. And now you can scale this up for planning an entire quarter or year and then reverse engineer your income goals. Want to make $6,000 a month? Plug in your close rate and ACV, then solve for how many leads you need. Suddenly your income goal becomes a lead generation goal, way more actionable. Now, don't expect exact predictions every time. Forecasting works in ranges. Maybe you'll close between 4 and 6 deals instead of exactly 5. That's fine. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is removing surprises. When you know you're likely going to make between $4,000 and $6,000 instead of having no clue, that's game changing. You can plan around that. You can make decisions with confidence. This is where forecasting gets really powerful. Once you know your numbers, you can translate annual income goals into monthly targets, then break those monthly targets into weekly activity metrics. Your income goal becomes a to-do list. Let's say your goal is $72,000 in annual commission income. That's $6,000 a month. Using the formula just covered, you know you need about 20 leads a month to hit that number. 20 leads a month is 5 leads a week. Now your goal isn't this huge abstract thing anymore. It's 5 conversations with qualified homeowners every single week. That's manageable. That's concrete. Now it's a matter of solving how you find those 5 homeowners. You've created a benchmark. And when you hit it, you know you're on track. When you miss it, you know you need to adjust. This is how forecasting informs daily priorities and time blocking. Monday through Friday, you're focused on activities that generate those 5 leads. You're not randomly knocking doors hoping for the best. You're working a plan. And here's the twist. Activity management like this creates freedom, not pressure. When you know your numbers, you can take time off without guilt because you've already hit your targets for the week. You're in control. Here's where this whole thing comes together. Forecasting isn't just about hitting revenue goals. It's about planning your life with confidence. When you have predictable income, you can make better family decisions. You know if you can afford that vacation. You know when to invest. You know when you can take a week off to recharge without panicking about your bank account. That's not a small thing. That's everything. Forecasting connects directly to long-term wealth building. When you're not reacting to income swings, you can build consistent saving and investing habits. You can max out retirement accounts. You can build an emergency fund that actually covers 6 months of expenses. You're not just surviving month to month. You're building generational wealth. And here's the part nobody talks about. Clarity reduces stress and burnout in roofing sales. When you know your numbers and trust your system, you sleep better. You show up better. Your relationships improve. You're not bringing that financial anxiety home with you every night. Forecasting gives you peace of mind, and that's priceless. This is exactly why forecasting is the foundation of the Feast system. Feast is a money management system I designed for the volatile nature of roofing sales. It stands for forecast, expense tracking, allocation, selective budgeting, and time optimization. Forecasting is step one and the most important because if you don't know what's coming in, you can't plan what's going out. You can't eliminate wasteful spending, automate your savings, or build wealth that lasts. Everything starts with forecasting. And that's why I'm giving you a snapshot of this step for free because I want you to be wildly successful in roofing. Now, if you want the full system for managing money with a variable income, the Feast course breaks down every single step. You'll get tools, templates, spreadsheets, and strategies designed specifically for commission-based earners like you. Check it out for yourself at the link in the description. This is the system that changes everything. Let's talk about where reps go wrong with forecasting because even when you know what to do, it's easy to mess this up. Mistake number one, relying on hope instead of historical data. Your forecast needs to be based on what you've actually done, not what you wish you could do. Track your numbers for at least 3 months before you start projecting forward. Hope is not a strategy. Mistake number two, ignoring close rate variability. Your close rate isn't static. It changes based on lead quality and volume, season, and your skill level. If you assume a 30% close rate but you're actually at 20%, your whole forecast is off. Track it weekly, review monthly, and adjust. Mistake number three, overestimating future lead flow. Just because you had a killer month with 30 leads doesn't mean next month will match it. Be conservative with your projections. It's way better to beat your forecasts than fall short. Mistake number four, failing to adjust forecasts during slow season. If you know winter is slow in your market, don't use summer numbers to forecast December. Adjust for seasonality or you'll be disappointed every single time. Mistake number five, and the biggest killer, treating forecasting as a one-time exercise. You don't create a forecast once because you attended a workshop or sales meeting and forget about it. This is a living system. You review it every single week, update it, and refine it as you go. The more data you collect, the more accurate your forecasts become. Now here's the review schedule that actually works and what I followed religiously for almost 4 years in roofing sales. Weekly activity check-ins. Every Friday or Monday, look at your numbers for the week. Did you hit your lead target? How many deals did you close? Are you on pace for your monthly goal? This keeps you accountable and lets you course correct before the month ends. Make a game plan for the upcoming week. What prospects are most likely to close? What's your current pipeline value? Make sure you record expected revenue for anyone you gave an estimate to. What's your follow-up plan? Monthly KPI and revenue reviews. At the end of every month, review your 3 core KPIs. What was your lead volume? What was your average contract value? What was your close rate? Compare those to your forecast and see where you landed. This is where you spot trends and make adjustments. Quarterly forecast recalibration. Every 3 months, step back and look at the big picture. Are your assumptions still accurate? Has your close rate improved? Has your average deal size changed? Update your forecast based on real data, not guesses. A simple spreadsheet like the one I made can do all the heavy lifting for you. Annual income planning tied to life goals. Once a year, sit down and map out your income goals for the entire year ahead. Connect those goals to what you want in life, the trip you want to take, the investments you want to make, the financial freedom you want to build. Let your life goals drive your income goals, then reverse engineer the activity that gets you there. Sales forecasting for roofing sales reps isn't about predicting the future perfectly. It's about removing surprises. When you understand your leads, your average contract value, and your close rate, income stops being a mystery. Revenue goals become achievable. Weekly activity becomes intentional. And most importantly, your life stops revolving around good months and bad months. In 2026 and beyond, The reps who win won't be the busiest. They'll be the most intentional. They'll know their numbers, they'll plan their activity, and they'll build lives they're proud of instead of just chasing commissions. Master forecasting, and you don't just plan sales, you plan your life. Now, if you want help building out your full forecasting system and developing a complete financial plan tailored to your roofing income, private coaching with me is available. We can work one-on-one to get your KPIs dialed in, build forecasts that actually work, and create a money system that supports the life you want. Head to roofmoneypro.com to learn more or hit the link in the description to schedule a free discovery call. And hey, if this video helped you see forecasting differently, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I'm creating a whole library of content here designed to help you maximize your roofing career and build real wealth, and it helps my content pop up from the people who need it most. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.